We're here outside the Thornton Hall site. Can you tell us what's happening behind us? I see men taking down some of the crowd control fencing.
Yeah, this is week 12. We set up the camp 12 weeks ago today, so it's absolutely devastating to see this happening. Yesterday morning at 11 o'clock, they came in, stormed in, took everybody off site, put them over here on the verge on the opposite side of the road. They put up the concrete barriers like what's in Coolock, and then they put these metal fences on top and the gates, and the crowd control fence was out. The crowd control fence, however, highly illegal because it took away the footpath access, and this is the only. It's a very dangerous road here. As much as people think it's now a secondary road, you can see the traffic going up and down. It's very much not. And we have had support from, local people, and there's a nursing home around the corner, and they've been very supportive, as, they are scared. And there was a resident who came down to us at the back gate all the time and is now coming around here to support, but he came around and could not get back on the path because the fencing was going. It's from this side, if it's from that side right up there, but both ends you could not pass. As a walker, you could barely get by on that side, and then you could get by on that if you were a walker, but the man in the wheelchair could not get through the access there, and then could not get through. There was just no path to step on. You see, we haven't given up. We are here. We're on this side, and we'll continue to make ourselves known, our presence known. Let them know this is not a welcome thing to the area. Nobody, is supporting this. And there was a call to the council made yesterday, and I just happened to catch it on my live stream, and the council admitted that and the councillor in question who was here actually got the council members to reiterate what they had said, so there was no mistake. They said they do not do background checks. They will only do a background check as far as the Shangaan region to see if the person that they're looking at in front of them is missing in that area or has recently committed a crime in that area. There will be no background or criminal checks beyond that.
That was Councillor Patrick Quinlan from the National Party, I understand.
Yes.
I understand there was a lot of activity here yesterday. Can you tell us what you saw?
Yes, from early morning, about 10 yesterday morning. There was only maybe 2 people at the base there, and about 30 police just turned up. Vans were going by. There must have been about 10 vans of police. Then they just told that I was actually one of them there. They said, just move out, get out. The young guy that was with me, they gave him a little bit of time to just get his bag, and then as soon as we walked just to the corner there, the big truck pulled in. They had the digger and they had the JCB. Everything was ready.
And when you say get out, you're talking about there's a big green fence here now. Was that here yesterday?
Oh no, that wasn't here. This was wide open. It was a wide open space. This garage here used to just park cars over there, so there was nothing.
So the protesters were kind of in there where it was
inside. They weren't out on the road. We weren't causing any obstruction out on the road. Our main aim was just to demonstrate that we disagree with what's going on in there. These are undocumented people. No other country would accept undocumented people. No country at all. I've travelled the world, and I would never get into any country without a passport.
Helen McEntee, Minister for Justice, has recently decided to increase the fines for air companies who bring in these people, and Michael O'Leary of Ryanair has said, well, they have the passports when they get on the plane, so I think critics of that decision would say, well, it's not the airline's fault. Do you think that was a credible decision by her, or do you think she was just kind of messing around?
Absolutely nonsense. Absolute nonsense. She hasn't got a clue of what she's talking about, saying that that they don't have passports. You cannot get on an airplane without a passport, and that's it. You cannot get on an airplane.
It started about the 1st of June, and when we heard that the government was going to make Thornton Hall into a night pass centre. And so then I'm a local mother and grandmother in the area, and so I'm absolutely aghast, and I'm opposed to this being turned into a night pass centre, purely for the safety of my grandchildren and my daughter walking on the streets, so I'm very, very concerned. So at that point then I decided to come down and protest how I felt about it, and so that's when I sat down in the area, and I was joined with a lot of other local mothers in the area as well. It's mainly mothers and parents who are protesting this, because we all have the same concerns. You know, we're really worried about the safety of our children on the street.
And the government has repeatedly said that they're overwhelmed essentially with people seeking international protection, and their position is that they don't have a choice but to use places like this, like Thornton Hall. Do you have any sympathy for that position, or do you think that they're just kind of they're just doing whatever they want and not taking into consideration the express will of the people?
The government are lying. They're basically lying. They're using their position of authority with the mainstream media, and they're blatantly lying to the public. These are not refugees. These are not people coming from war-torn countries. These are not Ukrainians who did need the support in the early years of the war. These are not what's happening at the moment. These people are coming from the Middle East, and they're coming from parts of Africa. You know, so no, I don't believe in that what the government are saying at all, because the evidence is clear. You know, so the government can stand up there on the TV and they can state the facts, but we're on the streets. We're around the towns and villages of Ireland, and we see the evidence. We're seeing these hundreds of single males, you know, and they're not families. Nobody opposes to families coming seeking help here, you know.
I understand that you've been a long-term member of the protest here, and we've heard the government say that a lot of the people who are opposing these kind of centres, you know, that they're thugs, that they don't have jobs. Like, they're saying pretty, you know, negative things about the kind of people that care enough to want to stay outside these kind of places and protest long term. What do you have to say to that? And can you also tell me your experience of protesting here? What has it been like?
Well, we would be here morning, noon, night, overnights. We were never thugs. Even the police would come down and have conversations and speak to us. We were never ever accused of being thugs.
We can see, even though people are continuing their protest here, and I know that there have been some kind of at least offers of community engagement, but it seems like the government are rolling on ahead with this anyway. Like, what does the local community plan to do?
Well, the local community is not happy with this at all. And as for community engagement, there's not one politician or councillor has been here except for Paddy Quinlan. I've never seen anyone else here, not once. And Jean, the lady you were speaking to a few minutes ago, she was here. Other than that, we've had no community engagement. We did have the police who came to us at the end of last week, who said that they would be able to let us know what was going to be happening. That didn't happen, not through their fault, mostly because we decided we didn't believe them, because, you know, they're being paid by the government as well.
And in terms of the number of people protesting, like, you'll often hear the government say that the people who are opposed to these kind of places are some kind of a fringe minority. In your experience, do you think that's true of this area, or do you think that most of the people here are opposed to this centre?
I think a lot of the people around here were of the impression like that the site is not going to be half the size that it's going to be. And I also think some of them have their head buried in the sand because they think that Ashbourne is only, you know, 6.2 miles away. Ratoath is probably 7 miles away, or kilometres, I'm not actually sure. But I think most of them have their head buried in the sand because they think because it's down here, it won't affect them. But they are going to go into our local towns.